Hello, beautiful people. It's great having you on today's episode of Viewpoint. You already know, talk show with the talk as EB. We will be talking about up to the minute trends and development throughout the show. We will delve into topics that range from politics, education, current events, entertainment, social issues, health, and so much more. You know how we do it. Whether you're on the go or you're watching us from home, just sit back, relax as we delve into these stimulating conversations. I am Hadiza Galadima, and on the show with me is Confidence and Shamsuddin. Thanks for joining us. And now, straight to the business of the day, let's get started. In the words of Napoleon Hill, wise men, when in doubt whether to speak or to keep quiet, give themselves the benefit of the doubt and remain silent. We will be talking about corruption in the Nigerian judiciary system. Also, we will talk about marriage and technology later on the show. We will be talking about motivational speaking, truth or myth in present day. All this and more after the break.
Experience the acceleration of Oweleketv. Get the latest news from the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry to the pulse-pounding realm of sports. We provide accurate and up-to-date information, exclusive interviews with top political analysts that will leave you craving more. Our team of professionals delivers captivating content from Nigeria and beyond. Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleketv. Visit our website at www.oweleke.tv for a thrilling journey. Oweleketv, rising star at the fairground.
Welcome back. This is Viewpoint, talk show where they talk as EB. We will be discussing battling corruption in the Nigerian judiciary system. And we're going to start with an opening question like, what is the way forward? The Nigerian judiciary system has often been regarded as the last resort for ordinary citizens seeking justice. It holds a critical role in upholding the rule of law and ensuring fair legal processes. Nevertheless, it has not remained untouched by the plague of corruption, which has eroded public trust and compromised the integrity of the judicial system. Corruption within the Nigerian judiciary takes on diverse forms, including the act of bribery, extortion, nepotism, and undue influence. These ethical practices can lead to result in unjust verdicts, protracted legal proceedings, and a culture of impunity for those engaged in corrupt activities. The consequences are not limited to individuals seeking redress, but extend to undermining the very foundation of the legal framework as a whole. Today, we will explore the challenging task of combating corruption within the Nigerian judicial system and contemplate the possibility of achieving a judiciary free from corruption. A lawyer and a public speaker, Dele Farotimi, once mentioned that the Supreme Court's ruling is either incompetent or corrupt. So, like I said, we're going to start, like I said, with the opening question: what is the way forward in combating corruption in the judicial system?
The issue of corruption is not synonymous to the judicial system. It has eaten into the fabric of every aspect of the Nigerian life. You go to let's just pick this scenario. A student misses a test, and the next thing is she wants to complain to the lecturer that please, I'm not feeling fine. That's the more reason why I couldn't make the test. And he said, okay, fine. Yes, there is a way I can help you. And the issue of sextortion came in, where they has to say, okay, he wants to sleep with her and all that. And if she said no, there comes a victimization of maybe he has his, if he's a professor, he has his chronicles who said, okay, fine, this is our target. And everybody will say, okay, fine, we want to target this girl to maybe fail her or something like that. Then it goes beyond that. And that's the academia, where you expect that, okay, they are molding people. Because at the end of your 5 or 4 years in university, they said you'll be found worthy, both in character and learning. Now, but unfortunately, that's what happens. So when that actually moves, then these are the kind of fabric that these are the kind of people you now push into the outside world. And that's when you now have the judiciary. Somebody that I've actually known that, okay, fine, there's always a way out. He always feels, yes, even anywhere he found himself. So that's where the judiciary comes in. You always have people who already believe that, okay, what money cannot do does not exist. So, and that's where the whole thing comes in. And we've seen in this country where elections were given or results were given to some persons who didn't even participate in an election. So, and I give you an example. You have a case of Rotimi Amechi, who at the time when he became governor, he didn't even contest in an election. He won the primaries and the party gave it to another person. He didn't even go around to campaign and all that. Then Celestio Meha won the election and he was already sworn in as a governor of Rivers State. Only for Rotimi Amechi to go to court. And the court now said, okay, who is the candidate of the party? They say at the primaries, they say Rotimi Amechi. Which party won the election? They say PDP. So if Rotimi Amechi is the candidate of the yes, and the PDP won the election, so Rotimi Amechi automatically becomes a governor. So you now wonder what happens. Same thing, we have cases in the cases of Zamfara, whereby the person that came far second didn't even, the person that won the election won about 300,000 votes, and the now Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle, came far second. And at the end of the day, he was sworn in. And the examples go on and on. Don't
forget Imo State.
Yes, Imo State too. You have the case of Opus Odima. So in the Opus Odima was, I think he came far third.
Sixth.
Yes. And yet he was, so you could see, you now wonder how miraculous things happened in this country. And yes, so you have the case of Abelawal too, who at the end of the day, it was, never contested the primary. Yeah, at the end of the day, it just materialized. The whole thing just, they did the abracadabra. And you could see such thing happen. And you could see that this is actually broad daylight robbery. And you find a poor man who possibly, if you listen to news very well, there are media houses that we always carry, especially newspapers, Igboshere Magistrate Court, was where a man and his wife, they fought. And the court now said, okay, fine, you are sentenced to 5 years imprisonment for this. That's because the judgment is usually for the poor and not for the rich. When it comes to the rich, the way they give landmark judgment actually differs. And that's the way we find ourselves here.
Okay, Professor, what would you have to say about one of the 5-man panel judges from just the election tribunal that said it's only serious candidates would not depend on INEC for election results? Then the question is, who should we depend on?
That's to tell you how bad it has gotten in the Nigerian judiciary. I will never forget Dele Farotimi's interview where when he was asked, was it on Arise? He just finished the Nigerian judiciary, and not just finishing them because he wanted to talk, he was spitting facts. He said, why are people surprised? These people that really know us are one of us. It flows from the head. And why are you surprised when the people that do the screening process, right, they're already bad eggs? So people that are bringing, these men into democracy, the ways they get their appointments, the ways they get their slots, and you think that with this kind of, drama and brouhaha for seat of power, you think that when they get to that seat of power, they will do the right thing. So for a judge to open her mouth and utter that a serious person should not depend on INEC. INEC is an electoral body, and not just an electoral body of an entire nation. If we can't depend on INEC, who do we want to depend on? So what she is saying, in extension of what she's saying, in fact, is that there are other ways to win this election. It's not just through INEC, because the truth is, if INEC cannot help you, look for other means. Rig it. If you cannot look for ways to do that. That is, I think, and that is exactly the picture that has been painted there. And what makes it sad is that you can't do anything. Sometimes I sit and I wonder. I say, we're practicing a democratic system of government. I've always known this from nursery to primary to secondary. You study government, you hear what is the government of Nigeria, democracy, and then in the present age, you're asking yourself, is this truly democracy? Well, you define it in a layman's term, government of the people, for the people, by the people. Is it really what we are doing right now? Is it democracy?
Yeah, I think it falls back to the topic we discussed yesterday on outnumbered, and it falls back to the saying of the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, that he said that the liberal democracy we are practicing in this part of the world is not helping us. And one would expect that he, on his own part, brings an alternative, because he is an elder statesman, and so you find this is what will actually maybe be better off for us. Looking at the fact that he has experienced the both side. Yeah. There have been politicians who have actually come to openly say that if you cannot win by the poll, you win by the court. So, and that's why sometimes a lot of people might not even stress themselves at the poll and all that. You just wait and just look at this. So most times, some of the cases, at the point at which the judgments are being delivered, they are not looking at the substance of the whole thing. They might say, okay, fine, like that of Amala, you have a situation whereby they said, okay, the guy didn't file what he was supposed to file exactly, and for that case, he lost, and they declared Abed. That was the senator representing the sectorial, I think UBA East also. Yes. So you have that in place. So most times it's not all about how the substance of and I give you a practical example. During the time of that's in 2007, it happened with Celeste Omeha in Rivers. Same thing happened to the late Balaguna of blessed memory in Niger State. He also won the primaries, but at the tail end, then the former governor was given the ticket. That is Babangida Aliyu. So when he was given the ticket, before Balaguna will actually go to court and make the move, when he saw the judgment that came in from Rivers, he also, he couldn't actually get his own judgment.
And the question is
that led
these people going to court. At this point, you can see that the judiciary has failed the Nigerian people, because I was asking myself, when we're talking about it off camera, I said, oh wow, they wanted to televise the fact that they have done their meeting, they've put everything in place, they've said everything, okay, you do this one, you do this one, you do this one, let's just put it on television.
Because the next line of action, if people are not satisfied with their judgment, or they delivered their judgment, they will go to the next their next line of action is go to the Apex Court, which is the Supreme Court of Appeal. And we know who runs the Supreme Court of Appeal.
Good.
Let's have your thoughts as regards what we just discussed right now. What is the way forward in combating corruption in the Nigerian judicial system? Let's hear from you in our comment sections, all right? Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Now moving on to our next topic, we will be talking about marriage and technology. In today's digital age, technology has become an integral part of our lives, influencing various aspects, including relationships and marriages. While technology offers many conveniences, it also presents unique challenges and opportunities within the context of marriage. In this discussion, we will explore how technology is impacting marriages and provide insight into maintaining a healthy and harmonious relationship in the digital era. sorry to say. We will also talk about how technology has affected the way couples connect in their marriages and how couples can strike a balance between spending quality time together and engaging with their devices. So now let's talk about the effects of technology in a marriage.
Well, you know, this topic is a dicey one.
Mhm.
You know, you have to find a balance,
balance,
for it, because there are a lot of couples who make this money for this marriage from technology. You know, so I think it's a thing that the couples have to come together and tell themselves.
This is
There's
what we
screen
want.
time, and
Yeah.
then there's time for us. And when technology begins to take the main base in not just the marriage, but we're talking about marriage now, in relationship, in marriage, it starts to cause problems, because the couples are facing their businesses. This person is doing this one, this person is doing this one. At the end of the day, you find out that one person, both parties get tired, and there's no time for each other. And with time, the thing begins to cause a strain, because you start hearing, oh, but we're making money now. We're making money to, so that to keep this marriage alive, so that we can go on vacations. And you find out that while you're doing all that, the time, that alone time that both of them are supposed to have, both parties are supposed to have, they're not having it. So I think it's not really a question of what technology is doing. It's a question of how are the couples, how are they combating it? What are they doing? What are the measures that they are putting in place? Are they, when you say measures, I mean screen time. What's the screen time like? Okay, are we doing 1 hour, 30 minutes? That kind of thing. There has to be a way they reach a compromise so that it doesn't infringe on that on their personal time. Because most times, you give attention to what causes problems between you and your spouse, and at the end of the day, it's a big picture, and some of these people don't even see it.
To take a sensitive.
You understand? It takes somebody who is sensitive, and somebody who comes to the point where they say, I think this thing is beginning to become a problem. So, like I said, it's not what technology is doing, is how the couples are combating it, because technology is not going anytime soon. It is evolving, so it's not going anytime soon. I think people need to put measures in place. How do we make sure this thing does not encroach into our love life, and spoil our love life?
Okay, then you say, okay, how would you say like couples should strike a balance between like engaging with their devices and how it affects their marriage? Not forgetting the fact that like you're someone who works remotely, so
Yeah. So I like to give myself as a practical example. So the first one is the fact that technology is a tool, and it is what you make of it, and the resolution or the perspective of what you come with into marriage matters a lot. A lot of times, as life gets busier, some couples become so selfish, and or some partners or spouses become so selfish in marriage, and some of them would feel that, okay, I need to pursue my career. This is what I've always dreamed for. And in most times, you find in the era of today, you have the device, and a lot of times there is always an excuse to say, I'm working on this, okay, or it is work, it is this. So one thing I did was to say, okay, fine, while getting into marriage, I said, okay, let's do a roster. So post 8 p.m., nothing has to do with device. So for that period of, okay, fine, let's connect with ourselves. So that way, and when it started, it wasn't easy. There was more of like, so there is always a thing of, okay, there's this thing, okay, there's this thing I want to just do, and it now becomes more of like
Habits.
yes, no, shaming. So more of like, if I'm the one with the phone, like, okay, you are holding the phone now, but if it is me, it is this. So that way, there is a sense of accountability that comes into place, whereby he that must go to equity must come with clean hands. So if you are saying post 8 p.m. there is no device, so you should also not say because of any reason that yes, I need to catch up with somebody, or I need to do something with somebody. That way, I need to use the device. Coming back to the issue of remote working, a lot of times people spend more time in remote working than even the normal daytime, because especially if you have maybe a KPI at the end of the week, you always feel that okay, I've not done enough in a day. If it's the normal 9 to 5, anything that if you resume 9 a.m., anything that you do till 5 p.m., that's all for today. And you come back tomorrow and say, okay, I want to continue. But in remote working, mostly they always have a KPI for the weekend. So you always spill over and say, okay, fine, let me quickly do this one, And another thing that comes with the device, especially if you are using, no matter what, even if you are using a laptop, sometimes you might just remember, okay, something, and you might just, okay, let me check. Then you go to social media, then social media will engage you for quite a very long time and all that. So it takes the time. And this time, it's somebody said what we are buying and what we are selling in this age is time. So couples at some point in time feels more comfortable, especially there's this idea of, okay, I want to, anything that's especially those that create content. We said, okay, fine, I want to produce a content for my viewer. For my viewers. I want to increase my viewership. And it's at the point in time I discovered that it wasn't all about the marriage anymore. So even when the partner is not even comfortable with it, it's just more about my viewers, my Instagram viewers. So it's more about the people that are watching you and less about your partner. So, and there's this era of, okay, fine, if your partner is not supporting you, is a bad person. So forgetting that they also have feelings. They also have want to take a sense of ownership, that this person is mine. Not for the public consumption. Yes, so there's always this, okay, this thing that, okay, it's mine. But at the same time, like I said, couples must be able to draw a line between being selfish about work and also trying to consider the marriage and by extension, the feelings of their partners.
I think just to add to what Shamsuddin said, it's the little things, that matters. Somebody once said something. They said, "It's not when you do it big that it will make sense. It's little drops. It's called. They call it compound effect. In exercising and those little drops that will make an ocean. So when you're eating, when couples are eating, remove phone. When you want to, let's say, Netflix and chill, remove phone, just it's those little things that you put in place that before you know it becomes a routine, becomes part of the couples, and it has a way of not allowing technology, social media, devices to encroach into personal time. You see, some couples will stay together, they're pressing their phone. You say you don't spend time with me. I'm like, which one is I don't spend time with you? It's not two of us that sitting down. But we're pressing our phone. It's not quality time.
Well, it has really, really gone bad, because like most people in most settings now, you see people who go out. They might go for a lunch date, and they are like busy with their phones. And some people now came up with this they came up with this format that, okay, if we're on a table, the first person to pick up his phone will foot the bills. And most of them will be like, okay, we need to be off. So
and in Nigeria, it will
work. Hands down. All right, let's go on a short break. We'll be right back. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. Now moving on to our last topic for today, we will be talking about motivational speaking. Okay, is it truth or a myth? All right, a renowned Nigerian chef, Hilda Basi, has shared valuable insights on how to generate an astonishing monthly income of 4 million naira as a chef. Wow, just wow.
Just
like I'm not going to change my profession. Like, just wow. In a captivating TikTok video that has gained viral popularity, she unveiled that, or her secret strategies for turning her culinary passion into a lucrative endeavor. She advised aspiring chefs to establish a clear vision of their goals and develop a well-structured plan to attain them. Nice one. Additionally, the chef highlighted that imparting cooking techniques and knowledge to others can serve as a highly profitable income stream, potentially amounting to millions and millions of naira. Wow, again. Wow. According to the celebrity chef, individuals who operate catering services within the culinary field can potentially earn nearly 4 million naira per month. Hilda received backlash from Nigerians over this innocent comment. Well. Is it an innocent
I
comment?
mean, it's Nigeria. Come on.
So,
It is Nigeria. There is no way. And you know that there are some people that don't like cats. I mean,
the celebrity, you just have to have your followers and people who are actually against you.
definitely.
So, which pops the question, do you think Hilda is putting unnecessary pressure on chefs and youth generally?
Okay, so I think it's a no. She's not. And I give you an example. In business, and especially for those that do multi-level marketing, what they do most is a business is like the way they say politics is a game of numbers. So business is a game of numbers. I remember sometimes around 2017, I went for a motivational event here in Abuja, and
So you're
the
part
hall
of
was
it.
filled. No, the hall was filled up. When the hall was filled up, and one of the person that was coming to speak with us, they said, how I use 100 naira to make
1 million.
1 million naira.
Motivational speaker.
Yes, so everybody was like, wow. So
Wow.
what am I doing with my life? So let me also go and see how I can actually use 100 naira to make 1 million naira. So, but when he started giving the detailed analysis, you will know that it's all about game of numbers. So he said he was posted as a core member to Abuja. And at this time, even if the car is not a good one, he has a car.
Yeah.
And what that simply means is the day he came into Abuja, he doesn't have a residence or so. But then what was left with him was 100 naira. So, but remember, he has a car. So, and at that time is what he does is to now say, okay, he was now doing tutorials for some higher education centers, adult education centers in Abuja. So he was staying at Ido Seriki and he comes to town. So if he's with that 100 naira at that time, he will he used that money to fuel this car, and he was now coming to town. So he will pick people like
Along
that.
the road.
Yes, and that was what he started doing. That's one. Then later on, he now wrote a book and sold it to University of Abuja students. So he pegged the book 1,000 naira, and he sold it to 1,000 students, which makes it 1 million naira. So that's the maths, and that's how you made this 1 million naira. So, but you could see the angle he's coming from. Now, coming back to Hilda, she sold a class for about 25,000 naira, a culinary class for 25,000 naira. Now, what she was able to do before that time was the fact that she had already used, she stated strategy. She knows that she has to be more than ordinary. So, and she has already been able to pull that stunt with Guinness World Record activity. So she's now in the limelight that anything she tells people to do, people will do. So, and people at that time signed up for our class. Everybody wants to go and learn from Hilda. And that way, it's like I said, it's a game of numbers. So if you multiply the people that signed up for our class, you will even discover that I think they even make more. She makes more than 4 million naira. This thing. And the way it works is, you might even say, okay, I don't want to host a physical class. I'm just speaking to you, everybody on Zoom or possibly Google Meet or any video conferencing app. You'll just sit down at the conference of your home, or possibly you might just have a camera and a video and you talk to people. And at the end of the day, they've paid. So everybody is in his own house, burning his own data and getting the same value. And you've made your own money. So it's quite easier that way to say, okay, fine, this is how to make money and this thing. But then in the Nigerian local palace, they'll tell you no be beans. So there are a lot of strategy, there are a lot of resilience, there are a lot of things that you have to do. So you have to fail and fail forward in trying to build that loyal audience that are going to pay you at the end of the day.
So is it realistic to expect that aspiring chefs can earn 4 million naira anymore?
Okay, nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
Coming back to that question, I don't think Yoda Bassi, was putting pressure or is putting pressure on chefs. Where the problem lies right now is people who had 4 million monthly. Like I said, I would always say it, this is Nigeria. Where the problem lies is the people that had 4 million. Wow. Is that all it takes? Just have this knowledge, be an exceptional chef, not just be cooking rice and banga stew, your father's house, you put it, and your contact is to say, wow, what will you come and make it for us? Be extraordinary. People say, do what other people are doing in their everyday life in another way that will make somebody notice you and say, don't be crayfish of this. What makes your own, different? So, like I said, what people hear is that 4 million naira. And probably they did not hear any other thing. Some people, I can bet you, some people did not hear any other thing. The first thing people say is, why are you lying? How can you say, okay, you made 4 million, you're able to make 4 million naira monthly? And, Shamsuddin just explained it in a very detailed way. So I'm not even going to go deep because he has said it all, So, like I said, people hear the money. They are not up for the process. They're not up for going through that tedious process of, okay, what did Hilda Bassi do that I can do better? And mind you, while we talk about this whole thing, this young lady started building her brand before now.
Long time. When she was even preparing for Guinness, she said she had to prepare for 5 years.
You get? I remember when, the internet never forgets. They were bringing out some of her old conversations, and I saw a conversation with a very well-known Nollywood actor now when she was begging to invite him on her show, and I think he ghosted her or something. Yeah. So it's not a thing of today. I don't know if you understand. She started from the scratch. She has built the brand. She has learned, and when she comes out there and tells you that, okay, yeah, I'm making 4 million naira monthly, you should not be surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. But the question is, would you be able to go through the process, and would you be able to map out your own strategies? I don't think she's putting pressure on anybody. It's just the fact that some people, it's a mind thing. There are some people who are, I'm sorry to say, their poverty mentality is just, it's not of this world.
Or the pressure might be on the lazy ones.
Would you say
for people who don't want to go through that long process, just be like, let me just
that's why I said exactly. That was why I said once she said 4 million naira, you see a lot of people now will go on YouTube and say, actually, is it not to do YouTube? Let YouTube be paying me. Send link, please subscribe. Even when they know that what they are doing is not, it's not good enough. This lady has put in the work, and so. As you were talking, you said she gave them secrets and strategies of what she did. This is what she did that is working for her. So, if you hear this kind of thing, that means you have to search yourself. If you say you want to make this money, you have to search yourself and know what it is, which strategy you want to employ.
Well, it is very, very possible to achieve whatever you want to achieve with hard work, determination, resilience, and don't forget, failures will definitely come along the line. But you bouncing back is what will really make you. All right, we have come to the end of today's edition. You already know. Talk show ready to come as EB. Be a part of our conversation by dropping your opinions in our comment sections, and don't forget to follow all our social media handles displayed on your screen for more exciting episodes of Viewpoint. Subscribe, like, share, and turn on the little notification bell on our YouTube channel at Oweleketv. Our website is oweleketv. Bye for now.